We're live, we get a thumbs up. We've got a good camera shot. There it is. Look at that. Wiggle the thumb, Mike. Come on. There we go. Look, Stranger's appeared from the mist, back to do a live. Is this my first one this year?
Second.
Is it? Lost track of time. Wow. Well, nice to be back behind the camera in the studio. A lot has gone on since the last one, I suppose. That was pre-New York, wasn't it?
That is correct.
So a lot's gone on since then. Great season. As always, it was lovely to see some new people and old faces. Fashion Week, excuse me, frog in my throat. Yeah, so did that, been travelling and all the rest of it, and seeing people from overseas and lots of other exciting things going on with Unite. We're in for a busy year. Got a fresh model in the chair. Little secret, I'm cutting her hair off after this. She's going to go up to here. No, she's not. She's not. She's having a short, long haircut. But Stacey has always asked me to come in, do a live, and today's live is going to be Oscars. I was just looking at what's going on the next one. I was like, that's the next one. I was like, what? Yeah, Oscar hair, which I must admit, after trailing the internet for weeks, looking at all the images and, you know, seeing what was going on, the hair was quite what I would call minimalistic, but in the cachet, expensive looking hair, like expensively blown out or dressed. There wasn't anything too outrageous. It focused more on the dresses, I think, or they were just wanted to pare it down, be a bit minimalistic. Maybe that's always that countermeasure of, we always feel there's so much chaos going in the world. The fashion world goes the other way. Red carpet and calms things down, simplifies silhouettes. So, you know, little fashion heads up for you. Times like that, the clothes don't become expansive, they don't become super wide, there's not a lot of volume, they were pinched in. So consequently the hair comes in as well, because you're not going to have a massive gown on, pinched in hair, and vice versa, you know. So it was quite minimalistic, so that's what we're going to do. As per usual, questions, comments, anything you want to bring up to answer, flash them through here. And Mike will relay them, even if it's just a hello, get off the screen, we're bored of you already. So without further ado, how am I going to dress this up, make it look runway, red carpet ready? Oh, I'm going to sneeze as well. It's a dust in here, Mike. No one's been dusting, no one's been clean. We haven't been in it for so long, there's cobwebs on the lights. Well, one thing I always do, and I teach this in the class, anyone who comes to Runway Ready will know, I say, look at the fabric, what we're dealing with, okay? Look at the hair, assess that, and then what you want to do is then think, okay, at least do a test piece, see what you're going to come up with. So without further ado, I'm going to take a section from here and I'm going to have a look at how the hair responds to, one, the hot tools and the products going in there. So we might be able to do a little side-by-side comparison, and this becomes really important because you don't want to go and set the hair, brush it all out and it's got no hold to it, especially like for red carpet hair, weddings, bridal, etc., because, you know, all that hard work's going to go undone. And we've all had it as hairdressers where we've done all the prep work and it falls apart when you do your brushing out, or the hair just drops too much. So what I like to do is like try and counteract that, do a little test piece beforehand, see what your optimum is going to give you, and maybe your minimum as well. I know some people say, oh, my client doesn't like products, but come on, we're not Harry Potter, we need these products to do great work. And if you want red carpet hair, I don't know a hairdresser on the planet who doesn't use product to prep hair. So you cannot rescue the hair most of the time if you don't prep it well. Your prep becomes super important. And here I am using Booster Hairspray, Booster Finishing Spray as my prepping tool. Now, it's not just a case of just spray it liberally over the hair. That's a finishing technique. When we want to dress the hair out, we do it like that. This is a very careful application below and above, and just coat the hair, making sure it's got even distribution, roots to ends. Now, why are you doing that? Well, obviously, it's because I want to protect the hair. It's got heat protection in there, up to high heat being used on the iron of choice. And this one, I'm going to come in with a large barreled iron, so very, very large, and see what that gives me. And I can then do that on a side-by-side with a smaller barrel. I'm going to use a different iron. And that will then give me a little side-by-side comparison of what my optimum is going to be and how well the hair responds to the heat process.
Got a Hey Gary from Frankie Cut MG.
Frankie from Germany. I think it's Frankie from Germany.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah. Guten Abend, my friends. I miss you all. Can't wait to see you, some of you in Miami. And then we're going back to Hanover in June this year. So that'll be great. I hope you had a great time with us in New York. We certainly enjoyed having you there. Very different experience. So nice application all the way through. I brush it, it's not removing the spray, but I'm just testing that hair. So should be nice and warm now. I've got rhino skin when you get to this age. It's hot, but it's, quick little tap on that test. It'll give me an idea. So keeping that hair nice and flat. And what I mean by that is like the hair you can see through here, nice and flat on the iron. So the heat distribution stays nice and easy. And as you see, as I move that iron down and turn it and wrap it again, I'm keeping that hair nice and flat. So the hair that has been heated moves down into the iron, gets locked, and the new hair, as it were, gets wrapped in underneath the tongue of the iron. Put your hand behind so you're not going to burn the model's ear. She had her ear replaced in Korea last month, so this one's plastic.
Got a question here from
Already?
Sorcerer's Charm. Will you be in Orlando for the premiere show in June?
In June? No.
Premiere show.
No. Orlando in June? No. I'm in Orlando for something very exciting. Beginning of April, but no. Unfortunately not, I don't believe. I think because it clashes, we're doing Europe and everything else. We go to Europe on around the 14th, so sorry about that. And I presume, if you can answer me that question, is that a hair show? As in like a trade show? We haven't done those for years. I have not been part of those for years. So I am going to literally just secure that with a flat pin, single one, so that doesn't destroy what you've done. Make sure it stays inside so you don't get a heat crease mark. So now I come on to the other section. I could change it up. I could use, let's try Go 365, one of my favourite hairsprays. It's so versatile as a setting spray, dressing spray, one that I create great shine with as well. And I just love how this applies on the hair. The distribution of the spray, super important. How it mists. I've got this on the medium setting. It's just great. It's been around for a long time purely because it works so well. I say if it's not broke, don't try and fix it. Any reply to that question, Mike?
It is a trade show, yeah.
Yeah, trade show. Yeah, I think it's because it's clashed with something else we're doing, and we needed way more notice. So that is hopefully my official response to that. Now let's have a look using a curling wand, a Unite curling wand. This is on a medium barrel, and if I flat wrap and twist that very quickly, and then pop that out, you can see that's got great curl retention, got some nice movement, and it just feels got some nice spring to it. Now I've got the option of keeping that super tight, wrap that up to the head, and then pin that. Or I quite like the fact that because it's responded really well, I'm happier to let that lay outside of the head, on the head, as it were. So I'm not putting it into a pli like a classic set. So that is letting the hair cool down on that. So it's not giving it quite as much maybe guts or volume to what it would do if I actually pinned and set it to the head, because it's naturally then going to be curlier. So as that cools off, which is going to be pretty much done by now, I'll let the other one come down behind it, and then we have a look at a side-by-side comparison of the curl. Now I want to brush those out individually to see what I've got. Now this, not only are we looking at what the hair is going to do, how it's going to respond, I'm also giving myself options to the client, etc. So you're giving that person the option of like, oh, maybe they hadn't thought about having it dressed like this in this type of curl or etc. And they actually prefer it than what they actually saw before. Or we just need to see a side-by-side comparison, as I said before. Because we are going to brush this hair out because we want that expensive looking blow dry. So I can see by the comparison of this side-by-side, that's just got way too much curl, which sometimes I like. It's good to defy weather, but I can tell by the brushing out of this, that's not going anywhere. So a great thing about Asian hair, we know it perms really well. Sometimes you can have hair that's what I call the glass effect, where it doesn't take anything and it can drop out, or sometimes it can respond really, really nicely and just hold the most subtlest of curls, or ones that really, really do respond. So we know we could make this hair really curly. It hasn't got a lot of weight to the hair, so it's not going to pull it down. But my option really is going to be for that jumbo iron to create a beautiful, expensive blow dry type set. So that's enough waffling going on. Hopefully that makes sense. So now let's get on with the actual work, shall we? Any other questions? Any other hellos? No one's tuned in.
Thank you from that woman who was asking about Orlando.
Okay. So I'm going to do a little side parting. What I always do is, anyone who does the class with me always knows, I do like to split the eye in half. Are we sure you haven't dusted in here? God.
We added some pollen for you.
Yeah. Now that's you lot love an allergy. I haven't got an allergy, it's just like, maybe it's coming from out in the desert. I'm not used to coming back into this coastal climate. Right, that is where I'm going to take it. And at the very least, we're going to get all of this set while I'm doing this, purely because I've been rabbiting on for so long. That's a slang expression for meaning I've been talking too much. So I'm actually going to cheat a little bit with this section. Because I've already curled that underneath, I'm going to take all of that in one piece. Because if I was doing like a large blow dry, I could blow dry all of this in one piece. If I was working in a salon or backstage, and maybe put it in a setting roller. But for me, I want to go err side of caution. I want something a little bit more intense. I'm going to set that with the curling iron. Back to Go 365, I just preferred the feel of this over the booster spray. No big difference between it. Could have done them quite admirably with both, but I just loved the flexibility that gave me when I felt the hair. So there's another little one for you. I'll always bang on about this. What fabric are you going for when you're setting the hair, or when you're doing anything? What is your chosen fabric of the hair when you've done it? There would be my little takeaway for you. So remember your prep, do your fundamentals really, really well. You're not going to have any mistakes or anything to try and catch up with at the end. As I always tell people, hairspray will not rescue bad fundamentals. We've all used to do that in the past, where we oversprayed the hair and then it just doesn't look great. It just looks a bit tired. And you can then sort of make the hair look a little bit wet as well. So you'd have to, if you do have that, so there's the option for you. We've got a great product for breaking down too much hairspray. Anyone know what that is? I'll send them a prize. I'll give you a minute to answer that one. So the best product we do for breaking down hairspray, making it feel like hair again, but making it completely manageable, that you can go back and reset the hair. There we go. Stacey's now thinking, oh my God, what prize is he going to give out?
I've got 2 guesses. Am I eligible for winning?
No, not at all.
I already know the answer.
You're in-house. You cannot enter the product, the prize giveaway. The prize is lunch with Stacey on a phone call.
I get those every day.
Exactly. So you can
And
just.
they're lovely, Stacey.
Well, you don't, at least you know you don't have to talk.
That's true.
Stacey's involved. She'll just be chat, 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 chat. I get her on a phone call. I go outside. I repave my driveway. I come back in. She's still talking. I relaid the roof on the house. She's still on it. Only joking, Stace. We know you do a great job. Can't do this. We couldn't do it without you. The three fellas in here, we can't function without her.
Literally.
That's what we tell her anyway.
We got a couple of new people that have joined since you asked the question. Want to ask it one more time?
Yeah? What is my number one or Unite's preferred product for if you've oversprayed the hair with hairspray to take the hairspray out and make it completely pliable so you can reset it? And there you go. I actually don't know what the prize is I'm going to give at the moment, but there will be a prize. A prize for the correct answer. Anyone replied yet, Mike?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. No one's too frightened to say. You might be winning it. You might be going home with it. So what
I
are you?
got 7 seconds to Tangler.
Okay.
Somebody guessed.
Yeah. Who guessed? Come on, give me the name.
I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Maisel Hair Magic.
Okay.
Somebody guessed water. Jenny Ann Hillman.
Right. Let me just go back and answer those questions. Okay. It's not 7 seconds detangler because you are putting. And it's the same with water. You are putting then something damp on the hair. Yes, it's going to break it down, but we don't want to be working on wet hair, backstage, runways, red carpet, etc. Imagine you're doing a really important client, and you've set the hair, done the makeup, done like a 2-hour job. They've got dressed and you're dressed, but you're brushing the hair out, and you've oversprayed it too much. That's the point. You certainly don't want to do that A-lister and say to them, "Sorry, I've got to go and wash your hair again," with water or 7 seconds. So definitely not that one. Good effort, but
3 more guesses
Go
in
on.
here. We've got, I'm going to pronounce this wrong as well, a good Isonus brush. And that's from V Wark 4. And then somebody said oil, Sorcerer's Charm. And then the person who said 7 seconds is resubmitting a U-Dry. Is that the dry shampoo or the conditioner?
you can't get 2 chances. It's too late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not that generous. You only get a one-hit wonder. Otherwise, you just go through the whole product line till you get the right one. No.
Alright, so Maisel Hair Magic, that last guess, we're not going to touch on just yet.
Sorry, you had a
Yeah. So the oil then, and then a good brush.
a good brush. Good brush helps. Now, good brush is your starting point, absolutely. But it's only part of it. The actual question was what product. So the brush is not the correct answer. And the other one was the oil. No, what's
Yeah, oil. Yeah.
oil? That will break down hairspray. Undoubtedly, it will break down the hairspray. But we've got something that's even better than that. So we're getting closer. I know we're getting closer. I can feel it. Feel it in my water.
You gonna hold out, or you gonna give it away?
No. We'll keep it going.
Okay.
You never know. This might be the highlight of the whole live. Doesn't really get any better than that.
Oh, we got another. Well, I think this is a double guess, but texture spray.
What's the double
This
guess?
person already submitted.
No, you can't have 2 guesses. That's not the game. You'd have to go into your other secret Instagram
Well,
account.
water technically wasn't a product, so maybe that's.
You have to go into their other secret Instagram account and
Yeah,
come
go
back with another
in.
answer.
Go to your
Yeah.
troll account and
Yeah.
join us again.
Or your personal one, not your pro one. Come on, let's go and see all those cuddly toys that you keep at home, that you don't tell anyone around. All that frog collection, whatever it might be. Us hairdressers have some of the craziest collections and hobbies and stuff like that. It's not all just products under the bathroom cabinet. So just getting nice heat application through the hair, making sure that iron, it's very important with a large size iron. Let's talk about that a little bit. I'm using a large iron. Consequently, I don't necessarily want to do large sections. I actually want to keep the sections reasonably thin just to counteract the size of the barrel. There's nothing wrong with doing a large type section, but all you do have to put into account is when you do roll that up, think about your heat distribution, where it's going to be its most optimum, either on the ends or at the root base, how you wrap it. So if you're wrapping it internally itself, the hair is wrapping over the old hair, etc. Heat's going to change. You can either end up with a slightly stronger root base, slightly smaller curl at the ends. So all those factors go into it. This just isn't a one-trick pony. It does depend how you roll the hair up. You know, we can do a flat wrap and twist with this size barrel. So let's switch over to that just to give the hair a little bit more on that one.
Got another guess here.
Go on.
Heat activator leave-in spray.
Heat activator leave-in spray. What product is that?
That could either be the Detangler or the Silky Smooth, no?
Yeah.
Heat activator, Silky Smooth?
Yep, possibly.
It's also,
Who's that from?
that's the second submission from VWork.
See, you can't get away with it. We've got people all over this account, people. You can keep trying. You keep trying to try for that wonderful prize I'm giving away. Stacey's still
The
thinking.
mystery box.
The mystery box. Yep, it's a sandwich I had lying in the car. It's a sandwich from New York Fashion Week.
Uh-oh, Stacy's on. Let her know what's going on. So ask the question one more time for our new viewers.
Who's that? Who said that?
I just more people are logging in that haven't heard the contest.
Oh, the contest. This is the contest of 2024. The question was, what is my favourite, what I consider my favourite go-to product for breaking down hairspray? If you put too much hairspray on the hair, and you keep sneezing, hold on. Excuse me. Mike hasn't dusted this place in 2 years.
I gotta keep you on your toes.
God,
Those
yeah.
extra breaths are good for you.
So the question was, okay, it started off, if I've used too much hairspray, okay, I got a bit hairspray heavy, I'm a young stylist, and the client's a bit worried, oh, this bit always falls out. So you keep doing this, and this, and spraying it and hope. We've all done that one. And you've got too much hairspray on the hair, and a fine hair like this is going to look very stringy, it's going to look wet. What is the best thing you're going to do to break it down and reset it?
Best product.
The best product that does not, and this is the most important bit, that does not compromise the fabric in the hair. If anything, it makes it even still feel even better. There you go, that's my question. And then we're giving away a prize. And Stacey came on and I was like, it's lunch with Stacey, phone call, intermittent, Zoom call, lunch with Stacey, and she sends you a DoorDash sandwich. I know what she's saying now. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's what she always says to me. Oh my God.
She's laughing.
I can't even. That's what she says to me. Oh my God, I can't. Mike's laughing his head off at this stage. He knows, he hears it. When we're sitting around having lunch at 11:30 at night after finishing the shows, reorganising the teams for the following day.
She likes the prize. She said that's not the worst prize I've ever heard.
Can't give it away at the moment. Everyone's coming in with the wrong answers. So a nice fat section on that one, like the width of the section. I could maintain that easily with that iron. Lies. It's all lies.
Oh, we got a new guest.
Hey, come on, let's come firing through, people. Come on.
Dust powder.
Dust powder, expander dust. That will not break down the hairspray. That will actually give you a little bit of trouble. Give you a whole host of trouble as well, because you are expanding the hair. You are locking in that hairspray. Yeah, you create volume, but this is the trick is in the question. Well, the answer is in the question for a certain thing. What breaks it down? So this is quite interesting to see what people's answers are. What will break down the hairspray that will allow me to go straight back in there, reset that piece of hair, not compromise the fabric of hair, allow me to put hairspray over the top of it again. Because the beauty of doing all of this work is, look, this is why our products work so damn well. We can layer up so much of them And this has always been Dale's philosophy, is that it's always going to look like hair, and great hair as well. And that's what I loved about, you know, when I started using it 29,000 years ago. No, it's 12 years ago I came on with a brand and started using it when I was in London. It always looks like hair and feels great. Really, really important. And as you can see, like in this prep as well, what I'm doing, how much spray I actually do use. Okay, you know, I'm loading the hair up, but doing it in such a way it's very, very controlled. And I'm judging and assessing the hair each time I put the spray on and just drag that brush over the surface. So I haven't got any knots in it. When I run my fingers down that hair shaft, how much spray is it covered from roots to ends? I can feel it on there. But sometimes you think, okay, I run it down, there's just a bit needed in a certain area.
A couple more guesses here.
Come on.
People are lining up for this lunch with Stacy. Let's see, we've got a texturizer spray to add more texture to the over hairsprayed hair. And then the other one is more hairspray, LOL.
Give me the names. Give me the names. I don't know what I'm talking
The
to.
texturizer is Brittany, I'm going to pronounce the last name wrong, Garzio Stevens.
Your pronunciation of names is absolutely terrible. Absolutely shocking. Never known anything like it.
And then 44 Rivera is the more hairspray, LOL.
I like sometimes the more hairspray, you can brush it vigorously and reset it. That can work. But if it looks a bit wet and stringy, I would say, look, go down the professional route. Let's you know, it's really important to know what counteracts your product. So if your hair is all too slippery, as I said before, if it's like too glass-like, Asian hair can sometimes be like that. It doesn't want to hold the curl. You need to create a different texture. And sometimes if it's too coarse and all the rest of it, you need to smooth it. And there is a counteract product in all of that, what we use, to do that. And once again, I'll keep going back to that story of, you know, choose your fabric. What's the fabric of hair you want to create? So, there you go.
Oh, Becca threw one out there.
Who?
Becca.
Becca?
Yeah.
She's not allowed.
She's not.
No, she's not allowed.
And she says hi.
No, she's not allowed in it. She's in-house. Sorry, Bex.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, why aren't you working anyway?
Cute, Beck, sorry.
How you doing, Bex? Nice to see you a couple of weeks ago. Hope you got over that weekend. And we look forward to having you again in New York with your fellow Swedes. I've told them you are completely fluent in your mother's native language of Swedish. So, du spelar svenska. Did she get the right answer?
Possibly. Stacy says she's taking Becca out.
Oh,
regardless.
Shut up. That's just blatant favoritism.
Her guess was refresher.
Refresher.
Yeah.
7 seconds glossy. Refresher.
I believe she might have been saying you dry fresh is what I'm guessing you meant by that.
I'm not going to say. She can't have a guess. It's irrelevant. She's not allowed. Right, not going to do the back, I'm going to do the front. So I'm doing a little cheat. I'm doing a session cheat where I'm only going to set side of hair. How are we doing time-wise, Mike? I've been rabbling on for so long.
Becca says yes, you dry fresh. We've got, this is the third guess from 44 Rivera. Do you want to hear it or are we going to tell them?
Come on, let's have another go. You're not going to win anyway.
Is it gloss spray?
That's a great shout. That's a great shout, and that would have been my old go-to. Absolutely. But no, it's not. So now they're going to get bored. They go, oh, he's just making it up as he goes along. Session Max.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, not. Session Max, not. No. All right. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, and then we could do a random draw. If I have to give the answer out myself, we'll do the random draw. Who can win it?
Stacey's losing her patience. She said reveal already.
Oh, you just hang in there, Miss Stacey Waters Young. She's got no patience, that girl. Absolutely no patience whatsoever.
She's been to New York too many times. Get it now. Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
whatever. she's got to hand deliver it, so maybe she might not want it to come up so quickly. She's got to go to Poughkeepsie to deliver this. Boise, Idaho, somewhere like that.
So Kevin Ryan missed the question. He'd like to hear.
Hey, Kevin, what? All right, what's my favourite? What I consider the go-to for breaking down hairspray if you've oversprayed the hair, be it on set, red carpet, etc. Look, Kevin's going to have his own miracle product to do that. So nice to hear from you, Kevin, and gave me a nice little shout out. He says he just loves texturizer. So, and I always say this to people: listen, take the name of Kevin. If you don't follow Kevin, just go and do yourself a favour. Follow his account. He's a phenomenal session stylist. Been in the industry forever, but originally from the UK. He's been lived in New York for years, and he does Area 31 as anyone, and he's way more knowledgeable about this stuff than I am. So,
Well, let's see, Kevin. You got a guess?
favourite products for breaking down hairsprays. You could reapply hairspray and reset it. So it's a great one, Kevin. As you probably know, someone's used way too much hairspray to try and rescue their set when they've brushed it out, and you're doing that final dress out before it goes in the dress. Someone said, "Oh, I'll put water on it," and all the rest of it. Like, you don't want to put dripping water on someone when they're in their clothes. So consequently, because we're always working on dry hair, what's going to be your most effective way of breaking down a little bit too much hairspray, and then the fabric's good enough to reapply if you so wish, and just reset that piece. I mean, yeah, brush it out, but.
And you said glossing was a runner-up
Yeah,
until this new product came out.
yeah.
Okay.
Where are you in the world anyway, Kevin? You
Kevin
still?
said, I have no idea what to break down hairspray.
Oh, he'd use glossing spray. Glossing sprays always used to be really effective. All right, here comes the answer, and then we do a little pull out. Just submit your names, and we'll pull one out at random to give the product away. U-Dry Fresh is my go-to now for breaking down hairspray. It's the leave-in dry conditioner, and because it is so lightweight and so effective at just coating the hair, so when you brush it through, it doesn't catch. And what it does, the chemical process of anything like a glossing spray or anything of that nature will always counteract the tackiness of a hairspray. So whatever is in there, I don't know what the chemical constituents are, but the tackiness that does that, as soon as you put something over that creates slide and slip, totally counteracts it and breaks it all down. U-Dry Fresh has that beautiful ability, because it is so lightweight. Well, it's completely lightweight, and the application of it as well, it just dissipates really, really quickly. It's so dry in the air, doesn't wet the hair down. This stuff has broken down Session Max for us backstage 2 seasons ago. When someone had a wet look, we applied a lot of this and brushed it through, took it all out virtually. When we reset the hair, didn't have to put any more product on it, reset the hair with an iron, came out fantastic. So there you go.
Kevin is in New York currently, but off to a beach job next week, and he says he's going to be taking 7 seconds and texturize it. If he can't do it with those two, he just can't do it.
Please take some of the U-Dry Fresh with you. Try it out. You'd love it.
Yeah, he said, good to know. Hope I never need to use it. For that.
Yeah, just have it in your bag anyway. You will just love how it feels, because it's just like a cheat mode, because you don't have that the layering process of a glossing spray per se. It's lighter than that, but you have that subtle shine that it gives, but it being completely weightless. And not only that, there you go, my favourite tip for it. Very few people have to do it in his line of work, but anyone who's got any type of extension, phenomenal. Just makes the hair feel brand new again. Anyone who's got hair that's totally dried, overheated, put that in there, bam, it's just like a miracle product. Got no hold in it whatsoever. But I just, I take gallons of it, don't I, when I go to New York now. And it's brilliant on curly hair. Oh my God. Curly hair just laps it up. Anyone with curly hair, has they ever come in, sat you in a chair in a salon and said, "Hi, my hair is over conditioned"? I mean, in general, very few women have ever said that. Have you ever said that by any chance? My model. She's gone to sleep. She's like bored her to sleep. Have you ever gone to your hairdresser and said, "Oh, my hair's so over conditioned"?
No.
No, you always say it's dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, so we've got two extra comments here. We got somebody needing the U-Dry Fresh for, I'm guessing this is London Fashion Week, LFW. And then Brittany says, can you explain the difference between Texturizer and U-Dry Fresh?
Texturizer and U-Dry Fresh. Well, U-Dry Fresh is a leave-in conditioner. Texturizer is basically what it says on the tin. It's a texturizing product. Texturizer is a natural silicone, which is like sand. It gives a grit to the hair that is completely malleable. The application of it is really, really sort of like, it diffuses really, really well. But you can use it multiple times over on the hair as well. Well, it's really nice with a hot iron. And you get a nice really hold to it. When it comes out of the can initially, if you haven't used it, you often feel like, oh my God, that's going to have so much hair product in the hair. It's going to be crazy, but it doesn't. It diffuses in the hair really well. And it becomes still malleable and you can build it up. It's very rare that anyone said, oh my God, I've used too much of it. And there's my little tip for you. As far as our texturizing products are concerned, think about our hairsprays. Go 365, Max Control and Session Max, okay? Go 365 is our lightest everyday hairspray. Max Control is your firmer, what I call a client favorite, and Session Max, self-explanatory. It's like that hard rock, super hold, really firm. Texturizing world, to marry those up, texturizing sprays like Go 365, totally malleable, really like can use quite a bit of it, no problem whatsoever. Liquid volume comes in a small little bottle. It's very much like our Max Control. It's got a little bit more kick to it, comes in that because it's obviously just designed for small little application, literally like 1, 2, 3 little dusty spurts of that. Great for putting your hair up or on glass-like hair. Needs a bit of grip, turns the hair from silk into instantly light suede, and then your ultimate texturizer is going to be our expander dust. It's what I call thermonuclear texture.
So Kevin's adding a little clarification as well. So not dry shampoo. I see you don't use the fresh word for U-Dry, the dry shampoo. So we've got the 3 U-Dry shampoos and then a U-Dry Fresh conditioner.
Yes, yeah. Total oxymoron when you think about it. The blue, you know, just Kevin, just send your order and send ask Paget, just send you some little pink and grey can. Yeah, marvellous. Real life. I found it a real lifesaver. And we could, if we do have time, I'll overspray some hair just to show you what it creates. Why not? Why don't we do that? Should we do that? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, let's overspray some hair. Okay, we've styled the hair. Right, and you've got that nice drippy hairspray bit now on there. We'll let that dry off a little bit. I'm going to be even nastier with it. Going to do a little bit of teasing on there. So you've teased it, the client, whatever. Oh my God.
Camera a little bit more.
Client's like, oh my God, I hate it. We'll let that dry off. When it'll dry off, I'm going to put a hair dryer on there. Why not? Let's dry it in. This is like QVC. All right, scrunch the hair up, make it look even worse. Here we go. Right. How does that feel? You're going to test me. You're going to be my...
Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like it? Okay.
Too crunchy?
It's just...
Doesn't feel particularly nice, does it?
Yeah, Kevin says adding the shine without making the style collapse is the hardest thing.
Yeah. So, this little baby, where this comes in. So I could go straight in and brush it, but... Okay, look, liberal amount. Because it's weightless. Nice and application. And you can see the brush just starts to ride through the hair. Now, I've got some on the ends where we've done a little bit of teasing. So if I'd used maybe like a glossing spray, it would feel, you know, area on the side to oily. So when someone said you oil, yeah, you're going to have to make it feel a little bit too heavy. But with this, because it's weightless, and as you can see through here, the root base still stays up in the air. Now, if I get you to run your hands through that now, how does that feel?
Interesting.
Interesting.
It's lightened now.
It feels like hair again.
Yeah.
So there you go. No tricks, people. That was how it works.
Wow.
It's as simple as that. Wow, she said. There you go.
Yeah,
That's the
I don't feel
general
anything.
reaction, especially
Yeah.
people with extensions. That's what we get when we put it in. When someone's got tired extensions, I put that in there like, oh wow, what is
Yeah.
this? You're still playing with it because you're quite shocked,
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah. It was very chunky and heavy,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now it's very natural.
It's super light.
Like,
There's no
yeah.
weight to it. Look, your root base stays up. It doesn't look oily.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a game changer. I've been after something like that for I don't know how long.
Kevin likes your brush.
Oh,
Do you have the detail bit on the front?
yes, mate. Hold on. Oh, there's more. These
Oh,
are
he's
right-
gonna break out the whole collection. Yeah.
Well, because he knows them. Yes, I've got the detail bit on the front. That was apparently their old variety, as you well know, and they've brought out 2 rounder heads now. I've got them all. Basically, the types of bristle you get. These are Japanese, and I would imagine they would probably go back to like the periods of when people used to do like all the hair for geishas and stuff like that. They are curved like the shape of the head. They're fantastic. We get asked about these a lot when we work backstage, and they are number one to try and get pinched. And they brought one out now with a thinner bristle to penetrate the hair shaft differently. But yeah, he knows that they're invaluable. So yeah, love them, look after them. Where am I? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Anyway,
Had a few Runway Ready members go out and get those brushes. While
yeah, well, we generally, because they're always asking, especially when we're doing ponytails, etc. And you want something that sort of like grab on the hair properly and penetrate down into the hair. They are invaluable for that. They just hug the hair beautifully. And you know, there's a reason why a lot of these tools are used backstage by hairdressers like Kevin, because they work. You know, they're just dependable, and he hasn't got time to run around looking for specific bits of kit if he knows what that one works. So yes, they often feel like they do all the work for us. You've still got to have the right technique. A bit like this when I'm going to pull the model's head over. So why would I then, especially if I'm challenged vertically, would I then try and pull my body up and do it? Just pull the head over. And that way you can get the iron to be perpendicular to your section to give myself a tiny bit of lift on there. That's what if I so desire. But I'm using a really nice size iron on this, so I'm not looking for volume. We're just looking for that little bit of a red carpet, expensive blow dry look. I'm trying to fake a nice blow dry. What's your go? There's a question, Kevin. If you're still online, that'd be that one I'd love to hear. You go to in your toolkit. What could you not live without? You know, maybe you could give us a couple, because that's a hard question to answer. You know, pintail combs, etc., and things like that, and those brushes. A good Mason Pearson or something else.
He said he's been trying to take a nice blow dry since about 1987.
Yeah, back in the day. No, I am so grateful. This will go back to when I first started hairdressing. I started in a place called Neville Daniel. He'll know where that was. And I worked under a guy there, and he was a blow dry, what I call a blow dry setter. And he used to blow dry or set the hair, and they would go under the dryer or come out of the dryer, depending on the, his book for that day. So we would always have 2-3 clients on the go at the same time. He would be blow drying one, and I would be putting the rollers in, Velcro rollers normally. And sometimes they were the smooth barrel ones, which are really hard when you're first starting out in hairdressing to get those to go in the hair. You don't get any iron marks, etc. And he would blow dry them, and he would really teach me how to create root lift, etc. And then we would set them, they would go under the hairdryer, and then he would do the comb outs. So you've got to think, if they've been set under a hairdryer as well, they do generally have a tendency to have roller marks in them where they really are set in place. And so we would maybe re-blow dry that bit, or he set them first and then he's going to do the blow dry to finish it afterwards. He's got double volume in it. And that's how I was learned how to blow dry hair. So I became very much what I call like a blow dry setter, where I would generally got used to just setting everything. Even if we moved away from putting people under hair dryers, but just either setting the hair with a setting pin like I'm doing now. There's little, tips and tricks. Now, so once again, you're doing different hair types. Some hair is going to respond very, very differently. So when you blow dry it, you might find some hair has a tendency to always go curlier on the ends, even when you're using a large brush and you're smoothing it out. So if I'm going to pin that, my tip to people is like, once again, checking it out, seeing the fabric you're creating. Well, you just don't put the ends in that final pin. You just let them leave them out. So as they cool down, they are going to set with a smoother kick on the ends of them, as opposed to being inside that roll and you're putting curl in there, which maybe you don't want. I think it's very useful for fringes and stuff like that. So everything you do should have a purpose. Do you want to create root drag? Do I want to take the iron right over, the brush over, pull it down, give it to actually, so there's no volume on the root base. Everything that it's all purposeful. There's always a process or a meaning behind it. Just ask yourself that question: what you're doing, why you're doing, how you're going to do it. It will then just make your work a lot easier. Just counteracts. All we're trying to do is just make the job easier when we finish it and we want to brush it out. That really is pretty much it.
Continuation of that from Kevin. He said, fake, sorry, I grew up 80s, so he shaved it off or did a scrunch dry.
Trevor Sorby's favourite.
And
Yeah.
then Neville Daniels was a fancy salon. I wish I had that training.
Nah, it was, well, my mum was a hairdresser, so I used to watch her setting everything, and then that was just a continuation on from that. So, yeah, it lasted, it put me in good stead for the rest of my career. And I always say that to talk to young hairdressers, I'm like, do all the hard graft when you're younger. Train under as many people as you can. Go and train with people that make you feel uncomfortable even, because that's really what is going to progress you. If everything's really easy, and David Bowie had this question, he's like, if you don't feel uncomfortable, if they're not making you feel uncomfortable, you're probably not in the right place, because you want to have that that's going to push you. And it's hard when you're younger, you probably don't want that, but I'm so glad in some respects that I did that and worked with one of those people, because by the time big blow dries, that Victoria's Secret blow dry came around, well, basically it was easy. It was a no-brainer. It was just like going back to when I started, and everything gets recycled in some respects, but also I think what else you get is that you get a modern version of it, but the techniques, the fundamentals stay the same. And that, if you want to be a great session stylist like Kevin, having all of those tools in your bag so you can reference hair that was done 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and give a modern shot to it, it just makes your life a lot easier and you become well sought after. So
Here's a nice bit from Kevin. I think
Yep.
you'll enjoy this. Without learning the basics and the history, you won't be able to create the future.
I love that one. You've always got some great quotes.
You got a hi from Germany. I'm going to take a stab at this name here. Katrin Ethner.
You can keep stabbing it as much as you like, Mike. It's never going to be right. So there is always options about brushing hair out. So you can do what I do, take a large section, and this goes back to my setting days as well. It just depends on that look I want to create on the finish. So you can do it section by section, brush through the root base, do some teasing to create volume, etc., and build your hairstyle up. It purely is understanding, that finish that you want to get eventually on the hair. It really is that decision. You make that choice. It becomes with, technique, etc., and experience. That's, what you will change it up with. So I've got my nice set through here. It just looks like a really nice smooth blow dry. It's got a nice bit of gloss on it. But sometimes, you might want to change that up. If your prep's good enough, we can have a look at it just to give, be it that client, an option if they want a bit of texture, etc., maybe a bit of soft volume. We'll just pull that apart with our fingers just to create a different story. The prep hasn't changed. The prep's there to give me the option. So I can feel through this.
Katrin says, I joined Gary at the New York Fashion Week, so.
Hello, Katrine. How are you? Very enthusiastic, our German friends.
Oh yeah.
They bring a lot
Great
of energy
fun.
to it. Really, really great fun. I can't appreciate that enough. So as you can see through here, what am I getting out of this? I'm getting a little bit of volume. I'm not destroying what I've done. You still have to see detail in that set, in that blow dry, but you're just giving a different vibe to it. As I said, the story is slightly different. I just wanted to sort of like show that off.
She said, I miss you.
Ah, that's nice. We'll come back. And I always say, if you don't go, you can't come back. Now, reason for the how I set that, once again, doing that little process, I set that away from the face. Purely, that just gives me a little kick back from here. Just exposes the eye socket and the cheekbone, then the hair kicks back where that cheekbone sits in there rather nicely. So I don't have to do too much of that whatsoever. I will just tease that through here. Right, different vibe on that one. Didn't say Oscars, didn't see too much of this. I just thought the Oscars, a lot of it was you know, quite simplistic, expensive blow dry. Oh, Kevin, is Kevin still there? Have you done any much Oscars work? I don't know if he comes over here at West Coast and does that because he's based in New York. He's got a great place out in the desert. It's all off grid that he goes out to, hides it. And that's another thing I just found. I wonder if he sort of like agrees with that. Hairdressers, as we age, I don't know whether it is because we worked around so many people and you burn out your energy, giving yourself to so many people over a long period of time, you just seek solitude as you get older. I always love that idea of just disappearing on the side of a mountain for a month, not talking to anyone, not having any social media, etc. Just feels fantastic.
Kevin giving you some props on your back brush skills. So that's how you back brush. Too many people stick the brush in wildly. You think it's all about the flair and pizzazz. Show how the angle the brush to smooth the exterior without removing.
Oh, I love
the
that.
back.
Oh, that takes me on. I mean, I could do it. Well, it's funny. I'm going to do a separate class on setting hair and dressing hair and brushing hair out. And that's, I got this from my mum, etc. And these little tips, like he said, not over dressing hair, but even if you want to do great big bouffant hairstyles, I always set I always back brush, on the interior of the hair, so the outside is what I call my polished area, and I don't destroy it. And as people said, sometimes you get people, and an argument's sake, this is such a great conversation lead as well, taking a section of hair and then willy-nilly, okay, let's just do what we all do. We will see this, I'm sure he's seen it, and they'll back brush and they'll go right the way to the ends, right? And there you get that. Nothing happens whatsoever, all right? You've just got a bit of teased hair that flops. Look, there might be an occasion when you want that. So, having the brush at the correct angle, and then I'm going to turn the chair on this one, wrist motion, etc., and that rolling process, okay? The rolling process, and as you can see, I'm staying near to the root base. It instantly just pops the hair up and it stays there. You've got the old 80s bump. And if you needed to, you could be slightly more aggressive with it. If you wanted to create large volume, same process, you're keeping it down near the root base, rolling it that way, and that creates that, and that will just stand up. And look, it creates volume. And then the top piece is just pulled over. Then I don't see any teasing on there whatsoever. So we can go on for that for ages. Loads of little permutations on that, using product in with it as well. But there we go. Thank you for that leader, Kevin. Love that one. That's a conversation we can talk about all the time. I love this. I love this sort of like nod to old Hollywood. I'm just going to pull that front piece out because I love what that's doing. And this is where I get that brushing it all out one piece. So I've got one side with a slight bit of soft teasing, and then I've got one side where I want to do really, really nicely polished hair. Now I could freeze that piece in the front, do some very, very soft teasing with that, manipulate that, but I just love what that's doing at this moment in time. I would use no crease clips, or the longer ones are duckbill clips of choice. They would go in while we're doing last minute touch-ups. Any makeup artist needs to come in, do something like that, invariably do, apply lip gloss, putting a little no crease clip in there is going to really help us out a lot. And we just come back in all there and we dust it. And here we've got two versions of expensive blow dried, be it teased hair or polished hair. Right, that's all I've got for today. I'm not going to continue much with that. Kevin, much respect to you, sir. I'd love to take you out for a cup of tea again when we're ever in New York. Please, when we get up there, just let us know if you're available. I owe you that one. Right, we've got our next live is hair goals for festival season. Monday, April 18th with Ali. Hey, they all say, they all scream it. Thank God he's not coming back so soon. You only get him on like twice a year at this rate. The live's obviously recorded, it's uploaded, Unite TV under the live replay tab. If you're on Instagram, why aren't you following us? Unite Hair TV. Any questions, class requests at unitehair.com. Once again, any questions, that can be about anything, be it the Runway Ready program, joining us anywhere, whatever you like, Mike's shoe size, what gloves he wears to keep his thumb warm for during the winter. Class requests at unitehair.com. And we will see you on the 18th, Monday the 18th of April?
April 8th.
Sorry, April 8th. My apologies. Duh. It's the old age eyesight's going. Monday, April the 8th with Ali, 10 a.m. I'll be abusing her from the other side of the camera for a change. Thank you once again. See you soon.